So it did happen today. We lost Spirit Airlines. Man, this is very bad. This is just so you know, look, we made a lot of fun of Spirit Airlines, and a lot of it was warranted. I'm gonna do it tonight. But you should also be very aware that if people always love to play recession indicator. You know, people are always like, oh, you know, the price of cookies is up. That's a recession indicator. Or, oh, people aren't buying tickets to as many baseball games. That's a recession indicator. I'm not an economist, but I think a whole airline shutting down might be a recession indicator. This is very bad. They closed. Okay, so Spirit closed at 3 a.m. this morning. Everyone who I know has quit a job. Nobody I know has had their job quit at 3 a.m. It's just 3 in the morning and your job call you like, I'm not coming in today, so. That's what, so basically they shut down all the operations effective immediately. And when they said immediately, they meant like immediately means like while you're still in the air and you're landed. I'm thankful everything landed immediately, right? They shut down immediately. And the thing that's heartbreaking about this is that Spirit Airlines did have a lot of fairness to it. You know, we live in a world where there's an expectation around decorum, right? There's an expectation socially about what you can and cannot do based on the optics. And Spirit never cared about any of that. I'm sure some of them found out in the air. That's gotta be terrible. Like, it's one thing to find out you don't work where you work anymore. But to find out in the air has to be different. Because here's the thing, if you work for like a trucking company and they did you dirty, they went ahead and said, hey, we've dissolved as a company effective immediately. This isn't even a company. You won't even get paid your hourly rate. We'll pay you for the hour that we were still operating, but now into the future, you could just get out of the truck and be like, go find your own inventory then. If you... But it's a play. Like you at least, if I was Spirit, I would tell specifically air traffic control not to tell them anything until they landed. You know what I mean? Like, imagine, because you can hear some of the like correspondence between air traffic control and some of the pilots even now. People landed. And air traffic control is like, sorry about what happened to you guys. And then you hear the pilot be like, what? No, it's not. It wouldn't be fair to put that on air traffic control. Their job is already hard enough. They would definitely let it slip. They got too many things to worry about. You know, Spirit Airlines fascinated me the entire time I was an airline, because I had to fly Spirit plenty of times. My career has been up and down. Oh, truly, sometimes you would fly Spirit and I'd be like, this seems like scam money. You know what I mean? Like, I would show up, I'd be like, $59, are you sure? $59 for a round trip. Are you sure y'all using jet fuel? Because y'all gotta be using Crisco for these prices. There is no way y'all are burning jet fuel and I paid $59 with everyone else who was broke to get so far. I used to love those like viral videos of things that were happening on Spirit Airlines. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the possum. All right, I guess a bunch of y'all haven't seen this. Okay, so in the way that a lot of houses that are haunted usually have a bunch of activity in the basement or the attic, there's something about where they would put spirit in an airport. Let's just say Spirit never had prime real estate in the airport. You would actually get scanned through TSA and then go have to find the Spirit terminal and be like, it's in here, right? Like, be tucked away a little bit. And there was this one time, I don't even remember which airport it was, but there was the Spirit gates corner of the airport. And everybody heard this rumbling. You know, so people waiting to get on their flight and everything, and Spirit is telling them that their flight is late because it is always going to be late. And then from the ceiling, people were hearing. It's one thing to hear noises in a wall. A wall's already terrifying. You could be squirrels, could be a bird in there, nobody knows. The ceiling, if I hear noises above me, I have to leave. And then, out of nowhere, a couple tiles fall from the roof, and a possum falls out of the ceiling, holding on to one cord, trying to gain some leverage back. Holding on like this. And in the end, because here's the thing, whenever there's a wild animal doing something where they're not supposed to, right? I experience this with rats in New York all the time. When you see rats on the tracks and there's a distance, there's like a barrier there where you can just watch them and it's not that big of a deal. When you see the possum hanging from what probably are some pretty important wires. I'm no electrician, but anytime I'm in a building and I see wires, I'm like, I bet they're supposed to be there. I bet you these wires do something. I don't think they just lay down extra for decoration inside the insulation. And so this possum is hanging on. He couldn't get the other leg up, so he's hanging like this. And people are recording and just watching, completely fascinated. Until finally, the possum can't hold on anymore, and he drops to the ground. As soon as he drops to the ground, pandemonium. It's like, as soon as he drops to the ground, chaos. As soon as the thing drops to the ground, first of all, it hit way harder than I thought. Possums must be much heavier than I thought they were. Even the possums I've encountered, I've been like, all right, it's nimble, so I always assume nimble is light. But this thing, it just slammed. I was surprised it didn't knock itself out because it slammed the ground. Everybody heard the thud, and then even the gate agents hopped the desk. They were like, ah! Imagine you late now. Flight taking off late. And people are calling, because they'll call the other airport. You know, people get in trouble when the flight's late for no reason. They call them, why is your flight late? Why haven't you departed yet? And now you gotta explain that there's a possum wreaking havoc at gate 47. We don't know where he is right now, all right? He could be anywhere. He could be behind us right now. I even saw, there was video. It was a plane taking off. Pretty sure it was a Spirit plane that was taking off. And you know how they pull that wheel back in? You know what I mean? They all go up in the plane. And as they were pulling it back in, half the wheel fell off. It's the beginning of the flight. The flight just started. Or one of my favorites, when I saw it, I was like, I hope this isn't real, but it looked very real. There was a guy on a Spirit plane with duct tape. just ripping the duct tape and putting it on the wing. Which, as someone who doesn't understand flying, seems like the most important part of the play. But I'm gonna miss Spirit for real. I'm gonna miss the fights. We all act like we didn't like to watch those fights. But it would inspire passionate debate between my friends and I on who was in the right, you know? Because some people see a fight video, but I see like, what is the best practice? Who's really right and wrong here? Because that's going to depend on who I'm rooting for in the fight. You know, you see, sometimes passengers would get into it. And I love that people on Spirit always manage to take something that should be a means of relaxation and turn it into a weapon. I remember I saw this dude get choked out with a neck pillow. And I was like, that never occurred to me. Yeah, I guess you are truly susceptible. Imagine choking somebody out with a neck pillow and then as soon as they pass out, just turn it back around. Oh, I don't even fully understand what happened when it comes to Spirit's downfall. I knew they filed for bankruptcy. In the first bankruptcy, I understood. When they first filed for bankruptcy, I was like, yeah, of course. The second time they filed for bankruptcy, I was like, y'all never got out of the first bankruptcy. I guess I don't understand how business works at all, because I thought that if you filed for bankruptcy, you were bankrupt. I didn't know you could go back to court and be like, oh no, we broke, bro. We need a whole second bankruptcy to go on top of this bankruptcy. Like, even when you play Monopoly, you're just out of the game. You don't have to now work for the game and file another bankruptcy and put down another mortgage on Park Place. Like, that's a wild thing. So they were bankrupt, and they were bankrupt, because I don't know what the chapters are. The chapters also feel fake to me. I know I don't understand business. I don't know what chapter 7, chapter 11, but like the fact that in the book of bankruptcy, there are different chapters that mean different things, I'm like, nah. No, because I personally, I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before, but personally, I think that anything that works on like a micro level kind of works that same way on a macro level, unless you are using specific jargon to try to confuse me. Do you know what I mean? Like if something doesn't work between us as individuals, then it doesn't really make sense for it to work when it's a big company. Not really. If I lend you money, and then you spend my money, and then you're out of money, and then you tell me you're out of money, then you're out of money. Seems pretty straightforward. I don't really think you're not out of money because you go get a loan from somebody and you still haven't paid me back. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But once again, I understand business. Maybe this is all business. But they filed one chapter of bankruptcy and then they filed for the sequel. And then they were asking for a bailout from the government. Like now, like that was that. I mean, that's why they're closed. They wanted a bailout from the government now to tune of like, I think $500 million, which if you need $500 million and no one is trying to kill you, you're bad at business. This one thing, if somebody like trapped you in an alley and put a gun to your head, they were like, give me $500 million, I'll kill you. And then you were like, okay, just give me some time to get the money. It's like, you got 1 week. Now, okay, you need $500 million, but for a very good reason. But if you run a business and you are negative $500 million, I understand the margins are thin. I get that. I get that the margins on airlines are razor thin. But if you see 500 million on a piece of paper and all the letters and numbers are red, You might be worse at business than me. Like, I at least don't understand business. You supposedly do business. I've only ever been negative $24. I'm not saying I'm better at business than the people who are running Spirit, but I'm just saying on paper, I look fantastic. And then they even told the customers, they were like, listen, look. Because people talk to you different when they're broke. Like when they're broke, like, when somebody broke, you get 9 looks before you get to the point. Like, look. Okay. All right. You get 5 eyes and 9 looks. When somebody, I know a lot of broke people. Honestly, by the 4th look, I'm like, you don't have it. Just tell me you don't have it. Don't waste my time. You don't have the money. But look. All right. Because that last eye is because they know you're starting to get mad. But they still haven't figured out what they're about to say. Look. All right. Look. Okay. I know you bought a ticket. And you did it the regular way where you were like, ooh, I'm gonna buy a ticket because I want to go to a place. And we were like, we go places. Buy a ticket with us. We go play where you want to go. Oh, I want to go Cancun. We love Cancun. We'll take you to Cancun. I know you bought a ticket because we were acting like and you got on the website and the website was working all good that day and everything. There was no buffering or anything. And your ticket came so fast. We were surprised too, right? So then. But look, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know how to tell you. Okay, so you bought the ticket. I know you bought a ticket a while ago because you were trying to plan ahead because that's you. You a smart, good person. Also, when people are broke, they start to flatter you hard. Like, you a smart. No, you so smart. Sometimes I'll just be seeing you. I'll be like, look, smart, right? So you just, look, you're smart and you thought ahead and you bought the ticket and we sold you that ticket. We did do that. We did. We should take accountability. We did sell you what you bought from us. That was the model at the time. That was the plan that, you want something, we would sell you something. You would get on the plane. That's a big part. You would get on the plane. And then that plane would be going to Cancun anyway, so you would just be riding with them. You'd be riding with everybody who wanted to go to Cancun, right? And then you would land in Cancun and you'd be like, oh, I'm in Cancun. You would have a great time. And then you would come back on the same or different, but you would come back with a bunch of other people who wanted to get back into the United States. And I hate, look, everything I'm telling you is what you expected, and that's reasonable because you did everything you were supposed to do. You paid the money, you bought the ticket, we used the money. But I hate to tell you, and I hate to be the one to tell you, I wanted to bring you good news today. I wanted us to just be able to chill and hang out and have a good time. But the second half of what you expected to happen, we closed. We closed, and I hate it too. You know what I mean? They not paying me to talk to you right now. We closed. And so you got to find a different way back with a different airline. I'm sorry, I hate it. Look, I hate it, but it's the way it shook out, Wish we would have merged with JetBlue when we had the chance, but didn't work out that way. So now you might have to stay. That's also the crazy thing is people bought the flights. And Spirit is like, look, we will refund all the methods of payment. You paid on credit card, debit card, we're gonna refund you that. You're gonna get it back, don't worry. Which you should definitely be worried. Like this is one of the brokest companies to ever exist, apparently. This is This is how. Why would I not be worried? You said you had a plane. You said you had a plane that did flights and then you were a company, and now you're like, don't worry about your 150. You're gonna get that back, I promise you. That's the last lie a broke person tells you. The money you're not even thinking about right now. Like the situation is so dire, you're not even thinking about the extra money in the future, and they're like, oh, before you even worry, you gonna get that back, I promise you. How? You don't operate as a business. You told everybody not to come to work. They closed the call centers too. They closed the call center. Imagine you see an update on Twitter that Spirit is closed, and you're like, ooh, that's funny because I have a flight this morning and I didn't get an email. And so then you try to call Spirit. I'm sure there's at least 2 people that were still at the call center, and the phone's ringing, and you just see the boss be like, don't pick it up, don't pick it up. Imagine now, you pick up the phone, I told you not to pick up. Spirit Airlines. Hey, I'm hearing something about y'all are closed. Like, are y'all still operating as an airline? I'm not here. If they ask for the manager, don't hand me the phone. You the manager now. You the manager. You want to pick up the phones? You the manager. They didn't have the call centers, and they told people not to show up to work, so there was nobody at the gates. So if you did come to the airport, I don't even know. Maybe, look, I don't know because I wasn't at the airport this morning, but I wonder if you come to the airport and you got your ticket, I imagine you can still get through TSA because you're supposed to have a flight that day. And now you show up, you rock up to your gate. Nobody anywhere. There's like one possum in the corner. One possum in the corner chewing wires like. Ain't nobody coming. Man, dog, this is very bad. I don't even think we know yet. I can't even pretend to predict what happens next, but this is bad. And this one, Spirit already wasn't doing well. That is true. That is true that as a company, they weren't doing what companies do as far as successfully bringing in money. But like the nail in the coffin is definitely this war. That's the price increase of fuel just did them in. Because when you're already broke, you can't afford for anything else to go wrong. You know, if you already struggling, and then they're like, oh, by the way, bread is $20 now, then that's a wrap, you know? And that's the thing that I think might get lost in all this, is that sure, Spirit was negotiating with the government for some sort of bailout or hopeful resolution, get a little bit more cash flow in and everything, but like the direct result of them going under is definitely these fuel prices caused by a war that we don't know why. We don't know why, or we don't know why, or if, or are we winning? Like this is one of the most confusing war. Look, I haven't been in many wars, all right? And I'm always saying I'm in it because I'm in the country. I'm not fighting in the war or anything. But this war, first of all, it started and nobody was sure that it had started. When it started, we were like, don't you need Congress? And they were like, no, we don't need it. It's not war. Then when it was clearly a war, when people had even started saying war out of nowhere with no regard for what it actually meant in terms of like how long you can have a conflict without the approval of Congress appropriating more funds and everything, then people were like, oh, but we're doing well, I think, or we're at least at a stalemate, maybe. And then you get to this week, which is the deadline for you to be in any conflict without Congress approval so that they can give you more funds to fight a war that you're winning. And so then, the president says that it's done. We're not doing war anymore. This is just, no. Which is weird because everyone's not back that you sent. Do you have like, I imagine if you are in the military and you're in Iran for a reason related to the war, not war that we're having, you see that the president has said all the operations are terminated, and you have the same amount of confusion as a Spirit Airlines employee. Like getting an email from the company. Uh-oh. And I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Like I don't really get it either, because this thing, I think it supposedly just sort of resets the clock in their minds. They're like, we're going to say that everything's terminated, but then next week, first thing on Monday, we're going to be like, they did something. We clearly have to respond, and they'll resume, and we'll just do a war, not war, 60 days at a time, I guess, until can we win? I don't really understand what the point is anymore, because my thing is, whenever you're in an actual fight, because once again, remember, micro, macro, right? What should work for you and I as individuals has to work, at least by logic, on some bigger level. You can't just mix it all up because it's a bigger idea. I understand it gets more complicated the bigger something gets, but like, if it doesn't make sense for you and I, it doesn't actually make sense in a bigger way. And any fight that I've been in, I was pretty aware I was in a fight. Do you know what I mean? I've never been tussling with somebody like, are we fighting? No, because when you're in a fight, it's very clear that the person trying to fight you is trying to fight you. And so then, I've never been in a fight where I was like, is it a fight? And then whenever I've been in a fight, I was very aware whether or not I was winning the fight. If I'm on the ground, I'm not doing great. That's never my plan, to be looking up from the ground in the middle of the fight. And I think I'm always aware, while in the fight, how to win the fight. Just punch balls. Like, you just punch. Look, you try to fight like a gentleman at first. Look, you do your best, but when you're clearly outclassed or he's bigger than you, you just give it a kick. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's possible this time. We're at a war, and we're reaching a sort of choking point with our fuel. There's talk of if the strait stays closed, how hard it'll be on farmers for fertilizer, all these other supply chain issues and everything. And I don't know, like, you would think if you let the president tell it that any day now they'll be begging for us to end this war that we're not even in. But every day that he says that, every day that he posts how hard we're winning, they post a music video of Legos that really make it feel like we're not winning. The music video of Lego, I don't care if it's AI or not. If you got time to make a music video with Legos, you're not as down bad as the president is saying you are. This is... And I can't help but feel like Spirit is just like the first big domino. You know? Because what is gonna happen now? Now that you can't fly cross country for $2.50, what is gonna happen now? Truly, like I think that Spirit closes, and some of the other airlines are whatever worried about trying to take up some of that market share. But I think if you see Spirit close and you're Greyhound, like, all right, you have to teach these drivers how to box. I would love a Spirit Airlines fight, because usually the window seat is like prime real estate. Usually you want a window seat. I can just speak for myself. Like, some people have long legs, they want the aisle, or they know they're gonna have to get up and use the bathroom, they want the aisle, but I love a window seat. You know, you can just see right out the window. Beautiful. You can see the clouds, and as you take off, everything gets so small and everything. It's amazing. But on Spirit, at least from the videos I've seen and from some of the flights I've taken, if you were in a window seat, you boxed in. You don't want a window seat. You don't get to defend properly. Middle seat also bad, for all the reasons that a middle seat is bad, but also because now you actually have the worst vantage point to see the fight unless it's happening in front of you. Now you gotta stand all the way up and turn around. The ideal seat on Spirit Airlines flight is the aisle seat. It's the seat that you can easily get out of the way if the fight is coming towards you in one of those smoke cloud situations. Allows you to get up and give yourself some space from the fight. But man, there was one time I was watching this video. This pilot landed. He's coming on, talking to air traffic control, and he's like, just so you're aware, we will need police. There's some sort of fight in the cabin. It hasn't breached the cockpit yet, but I do hear some banging. I think that banging is incidental. I don't think they're trying to get to us. I think that someone is just being thrown against the cockpit door. So we will need police at the gate. And air traffic control came all smooth. They were like, copy. No follow-up questions. Just, yep, sounds about right. You are flying on a Friday. No, my favorite would be when the Spirit employees would have words with each other in front of you. You would just, normally the drama in a workplace is confined to the break room. You know, you'll be working somewhere, and then at lunchtime somebody comes in and they complain about the person who's been annoying them during their shift, and then they leave, and then that person comes in annoying the other person. You hear both sides of the story. Or sometimes if you have one of those office jobs that uses Slack, somebody will Slack you, she's so annoying. You know, but as Spirit, they really kept it real. There was one time I went up to the gate agent, and I don't know, I try to be too polite. I apologize for everything before I even start talking. Like, hey, I'm so sorry. I know, I was just wondering, because please, I'm sorry. Hello. Hello. I had a quick question for you. And basically, I just needed to change something on my ticket. Like, at the time, I didn't have a seat number, so I just needed a seat number. I was like, do I need to wait, like on some other airlines, or is this a mistake? Because it's printed, but there's no seat number. Can you give me a seat number? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure, fine. I got you. You're all good. And so she starts types my name in, types on the ticket, looking at the ticket, looking at the computer, look at me, just type. And then this other gate agent walks up and is like, hey, I was hoping to use this station when you're done. And the woman helping me took one step away from me as if I wouldn't hear her. And she said, I told you, if you ever speak to me again, I'm slamming your head against the keyboard. Now I see you talking to me. And right now I see teeth. But we could easily make that keyboard keys. It's up to you. And then the woman that she was talking to said, don't be mad, I took your man, right? And I was standing there like, they still have my ID, so. I would love to walk away, but guess I'll wait. No, there was nothing like Flying Spirit, because they truly kept it like as honest as possible. They did. Like, when you walked up and you were like, what's the problem? Because, sometimes the people who were flying Spirit and paid so little for their ticket also got the biggest attitude. And so they walk right up to a gate agent, no polite, no how you doing, no I'm sure you're busy, no sorry to bother you, nothing like that. Why in the plane here? I watched it. I'm on the same flight as them. I'm late too, but like, I don't know, if the plane's not here, we look out the window and the plane's not here, the plane's not here. What can we really do? And this woman walked up and she was like, why isn't the plane here? And the gate agent of Spirit Airlines said, why your eyebrows like that? Quick recap. The plane isn't here yet. We're delayed, obviously. This woman walks up to the gate agent. Why isn't the plane here yet? The gate agent, without, I'm assuming, thinking, without missing a beat, just, why your eyebrows like that? We all have questions. Go sit back down. When you look at Europe, if you've ever gone to Europe, you'll see that there's just a ridiculous amount of airlines and a ridiculous amount of spectrum in the prices. Like, there are so many, we talk about Spirit and stuff, but there are so many Spirit airlines of Europe. There's like 9. There's one time I was stuck in France because the airline, I'm not used to the airline being like, we don't know where the plane is. Because I was in France, right? And it was a connection. And so I had to connect. And when I get to France, I'm just in the airport. I was kind of blown away because there's so many airlines going through Paris, right? And so I was just looking at all of them, and then I noticed that that my flight had changed colors. And I was like, usually when things change to red, it's not good. So then I went up to talk to a gate agent, and the gate agent was like, oh, that's a mistake, don't worry, the plane is on the way. One of the things that's very important to remember when you're traveling, because sometimes people freak out prematurely because they're at the airport and they're just waiting to be screwed over, right? They're just like, the gate agent will say, have a nice day, you'll be like, what? Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, that's my bad. So sometimes when your flight is delayed, it's like a mechanical thing. Like it's just, hey, there's just a piece that we need to put back on because you want it to land, right? And then sometimes what's happening is that it's late from wherever it left because they're using the same plane all day. If this plane, if you leave at like 6 a.m. and your plane's delayed by an hour, that plane delayed all day. Everyone for the rest of the day is screwed. Even after you leave this plane, the people who need this plane, they're gonna be like 2 hours late, right? And so I go up to the gate agent, I'm like, hey, can you tell me if this is canceled or not? She's like, no, the plane is on the way. And I was like, okay. And I go and I sit down. And then I notice like an hour later, it doesn't change from the red. So I go back up to the gate agent, I'm like, hey, is the plane on the way? And it's a different gate agent this time. And this person is like, oh, I don't know why they told you it was on the way. We don't know where it is. And in my head, I was like, I hope your English is just really bad. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not in the US, I'm in your country, you're speaking English to me as a courtesy, I understand, but like, you said you didn't know where the plane was, in which case it should be on the news. Like, that shouldn't be something that just I find out. That can't be a secret between us. That my plane is gone, but maybe, I don't know. I was losing it. I was like, so wait, you can't find it. Is it in the air you can't find it? Or like, is it over water and you can't find it? And they're like, yeah, we don't know when the plane's gonna get here because we can't find it. And I was like, getting here is now not the issue. You can't find a plane. And then the plane does get there. The plane lands safely at the gate like it's supposed to. And so I'm so relieved for all the people deplaning. Like everybody is deplaning and I look like, you know like when a child like gets lost in the grocery store and they're just like wandering because they're just like, oh, what is mac and cheese? You know what I mean? Like they just get enamored with all of the second shelf stuff that they can actually reach, and they're just like, ooh, these are hard. What is this? It's just a bag of rice. It's like, what is this? And then their parents lose them. So their parents are freaking out. And then there'll even be an announcement in the grocery store like, hey, can you come? You know, your mom's looking for you. You know, and then the parent sees the child again. Like they finally link up, whether it's a store employee that finds the kid or they find the kid. And then the parent is like, oh, you know, like crying and just shaking. I can't imagine what it's like the first time you lose your kid. I say first because you gotta lose your kid. I don't feel like you're a real parent if you never lose your kid. Like if you've never lost your kid, you care too much. Like you gotta dial it back. If you have never lost your kid, I guarantee, I'm not your kid, but I can guarantee you right now, if you've never lost your kid, you are smothering them, okay? You got, just to prove you're human, you gotta lose your kid at least for 2 minutes. At least, even if it's just a okay, there's it. Even that. But now you grabbing the kid and you ready to cry and you shaking and the kid's like, this is really not that serious. I was really just looking for the Fruit Loops. That's how I was to everyone that was deplaning. I was over here, they were just getting off, having a conversation, enjoying their day, and I was like, we're almost gone. And then they finished deplaning, and I'm standing there, ready to get on, and and then the gate agent sees me lighted up, and they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, because I bought this ticket that I didn't fully understand the ticket, but it said I was A1, and to me, A1 must mean I get on the plane first, right? And so I was just trying to line up, just be where I was supposed to be, and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm A1, so I figured I would line up and everything. And they were like, the flight is canceled. I was like, what do you mean the flight's canceled? And they were like, yeah, don't you see the red on the board? It's sad to lose something like Spirit. Because everyone else, they're doing their best, but they don't bring that same energy. You need, in any industry, a clear bottom. And now what'll happen? Now this is rough. Because who is it gonna be? Yeah. Everybody's got their complaints about every airline, don't get me wrong. But we're being honest. Maybe Frontier. Maybe Frontier. Southwest better watch out. Frontier and Southwest competing for next. I like Southwest, but you know what's funny about them is that they really try to slowly be one of the regular airlines. But every change they make, you teach people how to treat you, whether as a person or as a company. You teach people what they can and can't get away with in front of you. And so there are things that Delta might do with points on their cards. There's things that JetBlue might do as far as upgrades and everything. But they train you how to treat them. And for a long time, Southwest was that airline that gave you Spirit prices with American Airlines atmosphere. This stuff was cheap, but it felt like it was all part of a plan. Spirit would be cheap, but it'd be cheap in a way where you felt like through your ticket you were giving them gas money. No, everybody got a cousin that hits you up. Look, I need $12.50, all right? I need $12.50 till payday. You know I got you, okay? Southwest had this vibe that was like, look, we are trying to offer you the most reasonable price and the most comfortable experience for the regional airlines that were going to be able to fly you. So you didn't see a bunch of Southwest flights going everywhere, but you saw them going to plenty of places, offering some good service and everything. And then, I don't know if it was a new CEO taking over. I don't know if they were just feeling themselves, but they were like, we're going to eliminate the free check bag. And everybody with their full chest like, what'd you just say? No, I want to hear it again. What'd you just say? I know you must be out of your mind. You Southwest, all right? Don't come over here doing Delta, United, JetBlue stuff. You're Southwest. The only reason I fly you is for the check back. Oh, you gonna make me slap you. You gonna make me slap you. You bringing out a side of me I don't like. You stepping out of your place, Southwest. Got everybody lined up in the airport like it's snack time at school, and you want us to pay for check bags. You must be out of your mind, Southwest. Now boarding A, 1 through 50. Who came up with this system? The only reason I didn't say anything is because you had the check bag. You got me standing next to people. You can't just call groups like everybody else. You gotta get us to stand up there because y'all don't have enough employees, don't have any organization. You know what you need to do is have the free check bag. Because now you don't have the free check bag. I'm starting to notice that your airline too. You over here too. I sit down, I press the button, I go, that's unacceptable now. If I'm paying check bag money, I need reclining money. The idea that you would say with your full chest, we're gonna start charging for bags like you're somebody. Like you gonna tell me what's about to happen. I'd be sweating if I was Southwest. Southwest seat already doesn't recline much. Like that's the beginning. That's if you know you about to have a fight on the plane where your seat go like that. No. Imagine I remember my first Spirit flight. I got on the plane and saw the button. I was like, okay. I thought it was a mistake. I was over here. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. Because you even see tray table. That Spirit Airlines tray table was very specific. You couldn't fit much on it because it's in a flight made for you to be comfortable. I'm surprised that Spirit went out like this. I thought that surely they would be the first to sell flights with no seats. I was positive Spirit would sell you the flight and they'd be like, you don't have a seat. There's a handle like the bus. And you go, Captain, come on, there's gonna be some turbulence. Like, oh no! Now you over here holding on, doing the Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible. That is coming, by the way. They keep every 2 years, they tease these standing seats just to see how much we freak out. Because I remember when they first floated it, and it was just like a prototype look thing. I can't remember the airline that said they were gonna maybe implement it in 2026 or whatever, but this is way back in like 2019. And so it wasn't on the books yet as something but people lost their minds so hard that I can't remember which airline it was, but they came out and they were like, we just y'all, April Fools. Y'all hate jokes. Oh my gosh. Y'all, everybody's so serious. Stop. We were all playing. Nobody's gonna make you stand up on the plane. That's crazy. It's not even safe, even though it would save a lot of money. It's not even like something that we've been considering, even though it would help us greatly. It just, y'all, honestly, y'all annoying sometimes, if I can be honest with you. And then in 2022, they came out with the same thing again. It might have been a different airline, might have been the same airline, but they came out again, and this time they actually had like a model that you could see. So the first time it was just like barely a sketch, and the next one was a model. And then we freaked out again. Like, if you were online at the time that this was happening, you were like in that corner of the internet that was freaking out about it, you saw people being like, so you were lying before, you were working on it, because now you look like you've been working on it harder. Now there's something to look at. Like, now I see where you would put my legs and everything. Like, this is crazy. And they again came out, they were like, y'all stop. Like, y'all like act like you never seen a model before. Like, we were playing, you know, even though it's ergonomic and it actually wouldn't be that uncomfortable if you wanted to try. We were joking. Stop. And then last year, there was like a news report about how they wanted to do this. And you even saw this like, I guess it was an animation of someone getting into the thing, and instead of it being a seat, it's like basically like a hook. It's like a roller coaster. Exactly. You know what it is? It's the Batman from Six Flags. Now that I think about it. Yeah, no. It's exactly like the Batman from Six Flags, because it's like a roller coaster, got a little hook here, and then you go ahead and you straddle that hook. And you strap in. And then you fly. You flying. You flying the way that babies fly on their mom's back when they, when the mom has that baby backpack thing. It's exactly like that, but it's for you who paid $200. I don't know, it's coming. I thought Spirit would be the first one. That would have been great. In a dystopian future where that is flying, it being done with Spirit would have been dope. Because Spirit would have made it cool. They would have made it like entertaining. They would have made it like fun. You'd see the videos of people trying to fight, standing up next to each other, looking like toddlers. This is tough. It's a hard one to come to grips with, because you don't really appreciate what you got until it's gone. I'm miss Spirit. Spirit was one of the only airlines that would really be honest with you. Like, real honesty. That's what these low fare airlines give you. Is some true insight into the situation. You'll see, even with, what was that, the miracle over Hudson and that Sully thing? Yeah, incredible. There's a reason they made a movie out of it. But I bet you he wasn't giving them a play-by-play as it was happening. Not on a Spirit flight. A Spirit flight, they're gonna be honest with you. They'll be like, look, captain's gonna come on. We out of fuel. We out of fuel, and look, I didn't do it. Hey. I didn't do it, all right? I'm not the one that fuels the plane. I fly the plane, but we had a fuel, okay? And look. All right. I know that you bought a ticket to get on a plane, to go to Cancun. I understand, and that's our fault. That's our fault because at the time, you bought the ticket assuming we have enough fuel to get to the place. And that is fair that you would assume that. That makes perfect sense. That's because y'all are smart. You know, like there are sometimes you fly a plane full of people and they're not smart. Y'all are smart. And I'm gonna need everybody to fasten your seatbelts, and I need you to pull the seatbelt tighter than you ever pulled it before because we are about to go upside down, and you will feel it, all right? No, because a Spirit Airlines flight is gonna be full of honesty. Everybody would trash Spirit and would make fun of Spirit, but you know what was happening on Spirit? Everything that we wish would happen on all the other airlines. People would be on a Delta flight all the time. Somebody acted crazy the whole flight. Nobody says anything. Nobody would say anything. Like people genuinely losing their minds. Nobody said anything. Not on Spirit. On Spirit, somebody would be like, "Hey! Stop being crazy." Hey, stop. Hey, you scaring everybody. Stop.